Hello, architects. Welcome back to another edition of Locke Says This Is How You're Supposed to Do It. I'm going to go ahead and fill in for Bert, but today we're going to cover unique IDs and kind of a little bit of just how that kind of concept works. It's very prevalent in our user interfaces. Right now I'm looking at, this is my internal one that I use to test things. It's got everything all horribly messed up and glitchy and not working because I'm always testing something new at any given time. But essentially all of these all operate on unique IDs, especially like party characters, anything where you see a template list, we're generally using a unique ID. Whatever the data is, be it a character, a hero, an enemy, an item, equipment, skills, user interface elements even, they all have a unique ID behind them. And for the technically inclined, it is a GUID, generic universal identifier. And it's kind of a funny looking hexadecimal looking number. So let's go ahead and kind of get started. These are heavily used for our save value command. So I'm going to go ahead and clear out all of this. I'm just doing this live right now, so this will be amazing. So let's say I want to go ahead, so save value. This is going to be the kind of the command we're going to be using fairly frequently here. You see that there are all these different pieces in here that you can get data from, right? So some of them require a unique ID, some of them don't, right? So for example, to get the money from your party, you don't need a unique ID for that, right? Same thing for the active member count, any of these, or time. But let's go ahead and do this, right? We're going to go ahead and save active members into this variable. Sure, 0. Worst one we possibly could. It's not even named correctly. And now, I'm going to go ahead and create another variable. I'll use number 1, even though it says hero name. I'm going to set it to 0. And I'm going to do a fixed loop. Actually, I don't even have to use this one. This is so much better when I actually do it the right way. Okay, so it starts at 0 and it goes through essentially the count, right? So the number of characters here, increment by 1. So now I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, I want to get a variable, hero name, which again, these are all horribly named. Let's just rename this real quick. I'm going to call this hero count, just so that's more clear. Okay, so hero count. Oh, didn't update there. That's cool. Click this here. Oh, look, it's there. That looks correct. This will be unique ID. So, what I want to do, change variable, I want to save value. I want to get from my party a little slow because I've got because I have to go through, I'm debugging actually on the other screen, so Visual Studio slows things down. I want to get the unique ID of an active member at position of the party. Oh, I do actually need to save the variable. Oh, okay, let's go ahead and create change variable. Call this current hero index. Okay, and we're going to set that to 0. And we're taking that out of here. This is going to be very wonky. Make Bert fix it all. I want to access by the current hero index. So I'm getting the number of members in the party, right? That's saved into active members count into hero count. I set the current hero index to 0, and now I'm going to loop through the hero count, increasing by 1 each time. So it goes 0, then 1, then 2, all the way to however many heroes I have. And I'm going to access this based on the current hero index. So that's going to get me a unique ID, and that's going to be stored in hero unique ID right here. Right. Now I have a hero unique ID. but I probably want to do something like that, like maybe get a statistic off of them. So I can access the hero by the hero unique ID, and I have all these different things I can get, right? So let's say I want to get their statistic formula name, statistic value by formula name. So I'm going to get their max HP. And I'm going to store that in, we'll call it this one, we'll call it result. Okay. Now I can say, do a little message box, we'll say, hero, global variable, I believe it was 1. Let's double check this. That's their unique ID. At index, global variable 2 has global variable 3 HP. Make sure I'm right on this. Yep, 3. Global variable 2 is our unique ID. Yep. Yep. That looks correct. And then finally, because of how this is written, I actually need to increment this guy so that it goes to the next one. So we're going to go ahead and paste. We're going to say, hey, this guy right here, we're going to add a 1 to it because we want to go to the next index, right? There we go. So, provided I've coded everything correctly, I'm going to check my party real quick because I don't know that I have more than one character. I have Hiroshizilla. I'm going to have Hiroshizilla again. Make him level 10. Okay. Let's go talk to this person. See what happens. Find out how buggy this is. Let's go ahead and move this guy over. There we go. Again, test project. Enjoy. Hero that at index 0 has 528 points. And hero that has 584 hit points. And then it went 1 extra because I didn't get out earlier. But 584 right here, 528. Let's talk again. Double check. 528, 584. And this is, it's not changing any of these values, so it's got the old values in there. So that's on me. But hopefully that explains kind of some idea of how you can use these save value commands, right? Everything has a unique ID for the most part. So you can do other things like you could, now that you have that hero, you could get a skill from that hero by kind of doing the same thing. So hero, I think there's a skill count on them. There may not be. I may need to add that. Skill, yeah, here's skill count, skill unique ID at index. And again, this is just almost like the same loop we just did, right? You can get the number of skills they have, their ID at index, which would be their unique ID at index. You get another unique ID, and then once you have that unique ID, you could then use right here. Say, hey, I want to get the skill unique ID source. Yeah, right here. And then you could say, hey, does it have a sound effect? Does it have any of these things? Statistics? Does it have any statistical values on it? And you can just dive deep into it. You can do similar things with physics objects. So a hero, so unique ID, right? The hero with the unique ID also has physics object, is considered a physics object, so you can access them by that same unique ID. So we can go ahead and do that, and we can say, just copy this real quick. Hero X position is global variable. We'll put that in 0, I think. Yeah, it's stored in 0. Run this one more time. Drag the window over. So our first loop. And really what I'd do is I'd put another condition in there that says, hey, if if I'm equal to the hero to the count, that I just go ahead and break out of that loop. And there, my hero X position is 14. That's where I am. I hope that helps. I hope that's useful. Unique IDs offer a very, very valuable way to do a lot of different things that you probably want to do, you just don't know yet. And it's a way of exposing kind of our entire data layer. And right here, even, you'll see save unique ID is on a lot of things, is a command. So in this case, it's going to save the unique ID of this entity, right? So that'll be here, but if you're in a user interface, it might save the unique ID of the current user interface. It might save the element's unique ID. Just kind of, if you're bound to something, it might save that. It all depends on where you're at and what the context of what you're doing is. But hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully you can do something with that. All right. Have fun. Enjoy.